Here's my quick vlog video. As usual, the screen goes dark. Plenty of light in here. As soon as you turn the video on, the screen goes dark. So it has something to do with the difference between the camera and the video mode. So I don't really mind the darker screen. It just is it's not as good for some of the other videos. So give me 1 second. Okay, I guess the theme this year for the holiday time for me has been having a little vacation, spending quality time with the family the best we can, after opening the gifts, making some cool YouTube videos, unboxing and other playtime videos with my daughter. And one of the things I've been snacking on a lot, I mean, there's been a few cookies in there, more than I should have, that's for sure. Don't get me wrong. So anyways, pickles. I mean, some people don't like pickles, but I've actually, back a couple weeks ago, I tried the Tabasco pickles. I'm not going to mention the names. They're spicy pickles, Tabasco. I tried the Chipotle. So far, out of the ones that are commercially made, the Tabascos I like better. I still like regular pickles, all kinds. I mean, mostly the dill pickles, but I'll eat the bread and butter. Sometimes the sweet pickles. Sometimes they're a little too sweet, and so I'll eat them from various stores too. You know, I've even tried some from the cold section, and I don't know. Right now, the hot pickles is the way to go. If you ask me, the spicy ones. The Tabasco to me is the best. The spicy isn't bad. There's times that they're a little too spicy for breakfast or lunch. I suppose you can rinse them off. Or take them out of the spicy juice and dunk them into your other pickle juice when it's gone to kind of dilute them a little if they're too spicy for you. I suppose you could soak them in water to get some of the spice out if they really bother you. If you bought a jar you didn't like, but you know, usually the first bite's the worst if it takes your breath away, you know, and then you get used to it. Your body's like, oh, I'm used to that. So the Tabasco to me is the best for what I want to attain, but even the regular pickles. So mostly that's what I've ate a lot, like the last week. If I wasn't snacking on a few cookies, which I tried not to do, I even got some raw vegetables in there, even celery sticks and carrots, the good old go-to. My girlfriend Ann had made some soup, so I had that a couple days, and it was mostly vegetable soup without almost no sodium in it. So, but mostly like every day, you know, I wiped out a couple jars of pickles. I even bought, you know, like $25 worth of pickles a couple days ago, just so I had some on hand. And some of it was to try some new spicy flavors, the big store brand or even the commercial brands. I'm not going to mention Vlasic here, but it seems like I buy them just as much as anybody, if not more. I get them from the various stores. I even get them from the Save a Lot. I do get them from various dollar stores, not by any name because they're everywhere. Some have yellow banners, some do not. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Save-A-Lot's the best, but they do have some pretty good pickles too. But, I mean, a lot of times I end up getting the name brand pickles, and there's several. I'm not going to make the name brands known at this point. I might do a pickle video, why not? But the big thing is like 5 times a day when I've been snacking, boom, I've been trying to have pickles. And then recently I found the sweet Vide onions. They're a little too sweet, but honestly, they're pickled. So the last couple of days, once or twice a day, I've been having a few of those. And, you know, I don't know, it's like it just gives you a little bit more flavor. And some of the marinara stuff that I've tried over time, it's pickled, but it's so bitey. It's a high biter. It's like, it gives you like the sour look like a lemon. So what I started doing a few years ago, if I did buy that stuff, is I would rinse it off. It's like the gardenia mix or whatever, different names. And sometimes I'll put it in regular pickle juice, or I'll turn it down in olive juice just by setting it in an empty bottle of empty olives. Sometimes I'll sit there and put it into dill pickle juice when it's gone, or the other kinds, you know, whatever kind it is. I'll have the pickles out of there, and I'll save the juice, and, you know, sometimes it gets a little murky after you've switched it once, so, you know, eventually I'll dump it out and not use it no more. But for me, it's called recycling pickle juice to me. Sometimes I'll sip the pickle juice, which mom and people have always told me not to do, but I've recently, my mom commented like, oh wow, the stuff you've been doing, they're starting to show on the news. So maybe it's the 100 monkey syndrome, where people on the other side of the world are doing stuff, and then you find out you're doing what they're doing. And I've been doing this for a few years, and I thought about it before, but there was like, oh, don't drink that, don't drink that. I'm like, why? It's in the pickles. Don't drink the pickle juice, it's in the pickles. when you eat the pickle, you're getting the pickle juice. Maybe you shouldn't drink a whole thing of pickle juice, but I started sipping it off and on a while ago. Like usually I got jars of pickles that are just mine. If somebody wants them, they can open one of the other jars. And sometimes I'll just have, because the vinegar, I guess, is good for different things. So, and I try to eat healthier, but I'm not always the healthiest eating person in the world. But they say, I've never heard anybody say that vinegar is really bad. So I'll just sip a pickle juice here and there. And now what I've been doing is saving the pickle juice. And sometimes, I mean, even as a few years ago or more, I'll slice cucumbers thin and I'll put them in the pickle juice and let them soak for a couple weeks or whatever. I just make sure they're totally submerged, and they taste like pickles. And usually I'll eat them within a week or two, however long they've sat. Sometimes they'll sit a couple days or a week, and I usually eat them. I suppose you could filter it, but if the vinegar starts getting murky, I just eventually dump it out. I don't sip that pickle juice, but the fresh pickle juice, I just sip it every now and then if it's my jar of pickles for me. So relevant or irrelevant. So the main thing was the sweet Vidalia onions that are now in pickle jars, which are pretty awesome. I've tried some other ones. I remember like my grandmother used to homemade the pickles, homemade canned the pickles, and she used to have little onions in there, which I always thought was weird. But then I took a liking to them years ago. Even the dill pickles and the other ones, and I don't know how you reformulate those recipes. There's probably somebody out there, and I would like to try some, but her recipes have kind of been lost for the pickles. My mom hasn't canned a lot in years like she used to, and it's lost a lost art in this family. Not too many people are canning. If you do, it's simple stuff, and nobody has the big garden and farm like when my mom grew up. So that's a whole different story. But the main thing is, so you're kind of limited to if you know friends or somebody that might have the pickled stuff. Or I've seen them for sale at some of the shows and haven't got a chance to buy some of them. They are pricey, but then again, they're doing a lot of work and they probably don't sell a lot of them. So, but just the store brand ones, I get what I can get and do what I can do. Maybe someday I'll have a big pickle farm and I'll can them, but probably not. So, long story short, that's why I was talking this up. The Tabasco pickles, the Vidalia onion pickles, along with the regular dill pickles and other ones, for various flavors out there. There's probably pickles that I don't even know. This is just the commercially common ones that you find in the store. And I don't know, it's just like a thing. I even looked up a little bit on the YouTube of, bottling pickles, canning them, just get an idea that if I'm doing the right thing. And the main thing is it says make sure the stuff's submerged. They have a little kit you could buy that's supposed to help siphon off the thing. And in the old days, as far as I know, they just used to put pickles in a barrel with the vinegar and whatever else they needed, pickling salts, whatever. I don't even know what all they needed. And they just seal them for a length of time. When I was a kid, you'd find big barrels of pickles in the store. Even nowadays, you can. Usually the older stores, and they had a big tong that you could pick them out with. And a lot of times, they weren't even refrigerated. So what's that tell you? A lot of the stuff was invented before refrigeration. I'm sure that's why pickling came into effect. Now, as far as should it be refrigerated once it's open? For quality and flavor, the new pickles, they do say. The old days, the pickles, I don't believe that they were. But I would recommend just refrigerate them. Then you're safe. And then, but now there's all kind of stuff that's pickled. Even through the years it was, but I mean, I've seen it in the stores and it's specialty items and it's a little pricey. So, but it's kind of neat, all the stuff that you see that's commercially made now for pickling, that's been made for probably hundreds of years, maybe 1,000 years for preserving food. I mean, besides the farmers and the Amish and probably a lot of other countries where they still don't have main refrigeration, as like when we didn't probably 100 years ago and 150 years ago for sure and thousands of years ago. So that's where a lot of it come from, even the meats and stuff like that, and however they used to preserve vegetables, apples and all that stuff, and citrus will last a certain amount of time, but at some point in time you got to decide, do you can it, pickle it? Some people ferment it into beverages, so it's still canned and bottled. But I don't necessarily recommend that. But hey, if it's preserving the food, why not? So, long story short, that's how it is. Anyways, I was just jumping from clip to clip and got sidetracked and had a long I just want to do another vlog. You know, what is it? Experience. This is the lighting to brighten the light. That way I don't have to have the bright light from the top, but I try and do like the shadowy video because I'm trying to use it for the sketch mode and the cartoon mode. Why, I don't know. That's just what I want to do. So, long story short, that's where we are. I want to do another vlog. I believe this is vlog number 8. The first ones aren't all posted yet, and I'm going to post this one and eventually go back. And I'm learning a little bit more about YouTube and how to put certain stuff in folders, but then it changes the order play. And then when you release videos that you have uploaded but didn't release till later, it changes the order play. It depends on what folders are in. And then I've seen there's a thing about selection where you can make selection groups. So I'm going to work on that too, so I can have vlogs separate from Sarah's videos, or if Ann wants to put a video or she's been in Sarah's videos, I can separate those. The live streams I definitely separate because they're jumpy. I don't have smooth live streams, so that's why I haven't been doing live streams. And, you know, that's it. Otherwise, we probably would have live streamed a lot more stuff. And till we get the technology and equipment to have it smooth, we're kind of stuck making videos. But we're working on it the best we can, doing what we can. And I'm trying to find a little bit different sketch mode, you could say, or cartoon mode. But I'm working on that. But so that's why I'm experimenting. If you've seen some of the little sketch or haunt modes or line drawings, or they call them as the sketch, and some of the other little ones, some of them's for my daughter's videos to make them a little fancier, or let her have fun with watching them. So we try to watch them and see where we can improve stuff. Or just going forward, it's a big project. Some of it's more like home videos, I agree, but it's also something to help give us experience and her experience. So down the road, you know, she's done little theaters. She's been in, I think, 6 or 8 plays almost through the schools. They're like plays you find at the art center, or professional plays. So she's had some play experience, and then with the school programs that they do as well. But so it's kind of neat. And then I'm just trying to get her used to talking to the camera, you know. So it's kind of like stuff that we would have done when we was kids, because we did have like the little 8mm camera for a while, but film was expensive and you didn't get a lot of it, so we didn't get to do that a lot until VHS come around. And even that's a couple of days ago, if not a bunch of years ago. So now that they got digital format, it's just something we want. Or the first few years we didn't have smartphones till like 3 or 4 years ago, so I guess we're trying to make up with some of it by getting some video captured and giving her talking experience and helping her improve the language and the speech and get an idea of, you know, what it's like to make these videos. And of course she's started watching videos, I don't remember how many years ago. Just the YouTube alone is pretty addictive for her. And so she likes watching and doing what they do sometimes. So I guess that's the way the world works. Alright, well, this is my long-winded vlog video at this point. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. We're going to release future videos with future content of various stuff. Some of it's for my daughter, some of it's for my family, some of it might be for you. I don't know why my eyes start itching, but it did just a little bit. But that's okay. So just various content, various thoughts. Down the road I've got some other thoughts, or I don't know if I'm going to branch off channels, but she wants her own channel a while ago, but I told her we want to build some content, and I try explaining just the videos alone. Even just putting basic videos out is a big project, even putting them together, uploading them, and we're still at the family video phase. So some of them we've really improved the content. Some of them we've stepped them up. Thumbnails is the easiest, but it takes a little bit of work. So we're just going to keep going forward the best we can, and we hope you have a great year and a wonderful new year, because it's about that time of year. You still see the Christmas lights in the back, and it's still the end of December. I believe today's around the 27th, if I have to date log it. But here we go. You have a great day. Take care of yourself. Be good, and go forward.